Okay, today we are going to cover the second part of functions of module 2. Okay, in the last class already we have seen R functions. Okay, what is the syntax of function? Means how can we write a function? Then we have seen how to call a function. Then what are named arguments and how can we pass arguments through named arguments, and then default value for the arguments, how to assign a default value for that arguments, then return value in C, the syntax of return. Okay, and we see in one function without return, and how to write a program with multiple return values. And we ended our session with what? Switch function. Okay, this was the overview of last class. Okay, student. So in today's class, we are going to start with what? R built-in functions. Okay. What do you mean by built-in function? Built-in function means the functions which are already predefined. Okay. Predefined in the R programming framework. Okay. Here there are many categories, but we'll be learning two main categories. One is mathematical functions and next is statistical functions. Okay. So in mathematical function, first one what we are going to learn is about abs function. What is abs? Abs stand for absolute value. Abs stand for what? Absolute value. Absolute value means absolute value of any value is only the positive value. Okay, that means for example I am assigning what? X equal to -4. Okay, I assigned x equal to -4. What is abs of -4? It is 4. Okay, suppose I give only +4. Okay, x is equal to 4, and what is abs of 4 is also +4. Okay, it is not like vice versa. Minus will not convert in minus converting to plus, and it is not so. Everything will convert into positive. So this is our absolute function. Okay, next function our square root function. Okay, suppose I assigned x equal to 4, then what is square root of x? 4 is 2. What is the square root of -4? See, I assign x equal to -4, and square root of -4 is what? Error. Okay, it is telling NaN. Okay, not a number. So we don't have what? Square root for negative number. Abs of -4. Okay, abs of -4. Now I got the output. Okay, because absolute value will convert all the negative values into positive value. Once it has been converted, next is what? Ceiling function. Okay, ceiling returns the smallest integer. Okay, smallest integer which is larger than or equal to the given x. Okay, ceiling or equal to given x. Okay, here suppose I give 4.2. 4.2, the ceiling of 4.2 is what? 5. Okay, it is what? For the given number it is larger than that. Okay, no. Okay, in a home we have what? Ceiling and flooring. Flooring is down and ceiling was what? The largest value. Okay, it gives us what? The largest value. Suppose I give 4.0001. The output is 5. Okay, if there is only one decimal point above the given value, okay, it gives us the next highest value. The reverse of this is what? Floor. Reverse of that is floor. it returns the largest integer which is smaller than or equal to given x. So even if it is 2.999, okay, it returns us what? 2. It returns us 2. This is our floor. Okay. So we have what? Trunc C. Trunc C is for what? Truncate function. It is known as what? Truncate function. It truncates the value, okay, towards 0. It truncates the value towards 0. So the definition look confusing, but the only thing is it will truncate what? The decimal value. See here. Even if it is 1.2 or 2.4 or 8.9, okay, observe carefully, it just truncates the decimal value. It gives us what? 1 to 8. Okay, it goes towards 0. Okay, so 1.2 become 1, 2.5 become 2, and 8.9. Next you have what? Round off function. Okay, next you have round off function. Round off function will take two arguments, one the value and second for how many digits you want to round it off. Okay, for example, see here I have taken what? 3.475, and I am saying what? These two digits are the last two digits. Okay, those get round off. These two gets round off and you get 8. Suppose I give it as 3. Okay, what will happen? These 3 gets round off. Three. Fine. If I give 2, it will round off for these 2. If I give 3, it will round off for these 3. I will add one more value. It will be clear. Okay, now see. Okay, got it? 4756. You got 476. So it has round off up to these 3. Next we have what? Significant. This is known as a significant function. It looks similar to round off function, but there is a difference. Okay, here if I give 2 here, okay, if I give 2, what was the output in it rounded off of to 2 digits, but see here it will give a total of 2 digits, so there is a difference. Okay, so it is rounding off for these two from starting. Their round off is considering after the decimal, but it is rounding off starting from the numbers. See, I'm getting 3 digits. Okay, but there if I give 3, it will round off up to what? 475. So the output will be 476. 3.476 will be the output in round off, and it is 3.48 in significant. Cos theta or sin theta or tan theta, we have direct function cos x, sin x, tan x. We can use this function. Okay, and we get the output directly. Likewise, if you want to calculate the log values, okay, you just take some value and then you use the function log function. Variations like we have, this is log x base 2. Okay, what is log 4 log 2 base log 4 base 2 is 2. Very good. So we got 2. Likewise, if you want for base 10, okay, likewise if you want for base 10, the same thing. So these are directly functions which you can use. Okay, if you want cos theta, sin theta, or tan theta or log functions, you can directly use them. They are already built in, available in our framework. Okay, even exponential. Okay, exponential power 4. This is e power 4. Okay? These are the mathematical functions. And our next topic is what? Summary functions. Okay, which are used for what? Statistical purpose. Okay, in that, first and foremost is what? mean. See, I have given calculating mean is straightforward. You just call mean of A. So first I am assigning a vector A. What is this? What is there in A? If you observe carefully, 0 to 10 and 40. So I have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 40. I'm giving what? Some xm is equal to mean of A. I calculated this is the mean of this. Okay. But here you need to concentrate on this part. This is very important. In R we use in real-time data. Okay, R we use in real-time data. Real time, when we use this on data frames or real data, there are more chances that your data will contain NA. Yes or no? Missing values. Your data will contain a missing values. Now see here, what will happen if I introduce a NA here? Okay, I have introduced one NA here. Observe carefully. So in A, I have introduced one NA, means what? One missing value. Now I want to calculate the mean. Previous case it calculated the mean. I hope you remember, value is around 7 point something. Okay. Now see here, when I calculate the mean, when there is at least one n, what is happening? My whole output it is giving NA. Because of one NA in my data, the mean is giving me NA. It is not calculating the mean. So what I can do? So what I can do is I will use this. Okay, I'll pass one argument. What is that argument I'm telling? Na.rm equal to Na.rm equal to true. So you are telling remove NAs and calculate the mean. For suppose if there are any NAs or missing values in my data, remove those NAs and then calculate the mean. Now see here, I will run the same thing. Okay, is NA there? Okay, NA is there. And what it is saying? Remove that. It is mentioning clearly. I have removed one NA. Now I calculate the mean. I got the, okay, 1 second. I'll run it 1 second. 1 second. No, it is not working. Sorry. Yes, what is the problem? Can anyone tell me? Why it is not working? Hmm? Okay. It did not work. Why? Because this is an argument to be passed in the function. Mean function, by mistake I am passing in a vector. Yes or no? This I should pass on mean function. Yes or no? Here I have to pass it, but I was passing there in vector. Now this is our A1 having NA. Now you are telling to calculate mean by removing NAs. You got the output. Understood, ma? Instead of adding here in function, I mistakenly added in the vector. Is it clear? Na dot rm equal to true.
Yes, sir.
Yes, good. So this you will use in real time. Use frequently in real time. Okay. Likewise, you can calculate what standard deviation. Okay. For calculating standard deviation, you have a function HD. Okay. Using HD, you will find the. Okay. If you want to find the median, you have a function median. Okay. Again, you can here wherever there are NAs, you can use what NA dot RM equal to true. That means if there are any in NAs, remove those NAs and calculate okay the remaining things on the remaining data. And range function will give us what the maximum value and minimum value present in the data. Okay, range function will give us the maximum and minimum value present in the data. Okay, 0 and maximum value is 40, so it returns both. Okay, likewise sum will return as the sum of complete data. So this is my A. Okay, this is my result 95. What is 95? 95 is 0 plus 1 plus 2 40. Okay, good. So next we'll find the difference. So here, what is the difference? It gives us the difference in between what consecutive elements. Difference between what consecutive elements. So what is 6? 6 is nothing but 8. 2 minus 8 is minus 6. What is 3? 5 minus 2 is 3. 4 minus 5 is minus 1. 9 minus 4 is 5. Okay, like 6 minus 3. 54 minus this. And this minus this. Okay. This is for lag 1. Is this clear, ma? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Now what will happen if I give lag 2? What will happen if I give lag 2? Okay. Now looking at the output, you tell me what is lag 2. Okay, lag 1 I have explained. Lag 1
5
I have
minus 8.
very good, very good. So lag 1 means it is treating what consecutive elements as one set. These two as one set. Okay, next set. Next, these two as one set. Okay, but here if you give lag 2, it is skipping one element. It will treat this and this as one set. Okay, so what happens? It is 5 minus 8. It is 4 minus 2. Next it is 9 minus 5. Next 6 minus 4. 54 minus 9. And finally 18 minus 6. So this is what lag 2. If I give lag 3, what will happen? It will difference
8,
between 8 and 4.
4 minus 8.
Then it will take uh,
4 minus 8.
yes, 4 minus 8. Next it will take 2
9.
minus 9.
2.
Yeah, that's 9 minus 2. Okay, understood what is lag? So how much difference you want, okay, between the elements. So this is all about lag. Clear, ma? Can repeat?
Yes, sir.
So that is about lag. Okay, then we have what product. Okay, it will give us what product of all the elements. Okay, 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5 into 6, everything 1 into 10. So it is this value. Then a range will give us both minimum and maximum value. But if you want only minimum, you have a function minimum, which will give us the 0. Likewise, you have a maximum, which will give us a maximum 40. If you want both together, then you can use the range function. This already we have seen it multiple times. Sequence will give us numbers from starting value to ending value, including both starting and ending value. And this is what our step value. Okay. This by default is 1, but even if you give any other thing, it will accept. So here it will give me values 1, 1, 3 up to 9. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 because I gave step value 2. If I give step value 1, it will give me 1 to 10, which includes 1 as well as 10. Both are included. Okay, generally a similar function in Python will not include 10, but here it will even include 10. Okay, next is what? Repetition. Okay, this repeats. Okay, can you guess what is the output of this function?
4 will repeat 3 times, 5 will repeat 3 times, 6 will repeat.
In what order? Order. What you said is right, but in what order? Will first 4 repeat, next 5, next 6, or 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6?
4, 5, 6, 3 times.
Very good. It is 4, 5, 6, a pair together 3 times. 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 3 times. This is what our repeat function is. Okay. Our next function is cut function. It is a bit tricky one. Okay. It is a bit tricky one. Try to concentrate and understand. See here. First, I'll read out the definition. We'll see if you can understand anything. Cut divide the range of x, okay, into intervals and code the values in x according to which interval they fall. Okay, first what it does, it divides the range of x into intervals. Okay, that you will be giving intervals. Then it codes the values in x according to which the interval they fall, and divide the continuous variables in a factors with n levels. Okay, 1 second. Now we look at the output and try to understand. Okay, so I have values 1 to 10. I have values 1 to 10. Then I am telling, okay, how many intervals I want to divide? I want to divide into 3 intervals. I want to divide in what? 3 intervals. Observe the output. So 1 to 10 has been divided in 3 intervals. Which intervals? These intervals. Okay, so 0.924 is one interval, 4 to 7 is one interval, 7 to 10 is one interval. It has divided it. Then whatever values, I'll tell you one second. What is 1 is to 10? So these are the values. So whatever values are falling in between these two, okay, that is approximately 1 to 4, those are replaced by this 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, those are replaced with this. So see here, you'll have a total of 4 these values. Next, whatever falls in the range of 4 to 7, that is what? 5, 6, 7. Okay, those are 4 to 7. Okay, next, whichever falls in between the range of 7 and 10, whichever falls in the range of what? 7 and 10, that are what? Our 8, our 9, our 10. So last 3 values. Okay, those are this value and these 2 values. Okay, those are replaced with that 7 to 10. Understood, ma? Want me to explain with one more example? Okay, now we'll do it with what? 4. We'll do it with what? 4. So it is 1 to 10. Okay, first I'll do what? Uh, hmm. Cut working. Okay, so these are your actual values. These are your actual values. Okay, for these set of values, you are telling it to divide in what? 4 intervals. So these are those divided 4 intervals. Okay, what are the intervals? Intervals from 1 to 3.25, 3.25 to this. This is interval 1, interval 2, interval 3, interval 4. Okay, these are your intervals. Now, whatever falls in this interval 1, whatever falls in this interval 1 are replaced with these values. So, this 1 falls in first interval. So, 1 has been replaced with this. Okay, even 2 also falls in this interval. So, 2 also replaced with this. 3 also falls because it is up to 3.5. So, this is a thing. Okay, next is what? We have 4. 4 falls in our second set of interval. So this is our 4. This is our 5. Okay, this is the thing. Okay, one of your friend is asking how it will divide on the own mark. Okay, equally it tries to divide based on the data. Okay, based on our data, it tries to divide equally. Okay, the up to the possible extent. Now, is this clear? Now tell me what is the use of this? Okay, this is how it works. Cut works, but it is very useful. I will tell you one real-time scenario. Okay, I have conducted a survey. Okay, suppose I have a supermarket or a okay. In that supermarket, I have conducted a survey. How many of you will like TVs? How many of you will like mobiles? And how many of you will like laptops? I have only 3 categories of products. Those are TVs, mobiles, and laptops. Then I have conducted a general survey. Okay, is it guaranteed that I will get a customer from only certain age? My customers will be there with certain age, only certain age people will enter into my store. No, anyone can enter. Okay, from as early as 3 years, 4 years old to 50, 60 year old, anyone can enter. Yes or no? So they entered into my store, they're given a survey what they like and everything. Okay, and they left. No, my job is to analyze. So what I think of doing is I want to analyze based on their ages. I want to analyze what reviews or what feedback I have got based on their ages. So what I do, for that age column I cut. The age column I will cut based on my requirement. I may cut it in 3 pieces, 3 intervals or 4 intervals. Okay, when I cut it, so there is a difference between what 11-year-old and 12-year-old and 13-year-old. But when you use this cut formula, all that 11, 12, 13 or equal numbers are replaced with same numbers. So for me, filtering is easy. Understanding the scenario. For me, filtering is easy. I can easily grasp what a certain age group people are interested in. Certain age group people are interested in only laptops, or they're interested only in mobiles, or they're interested in only in TVs. Based on that, next time whenever a certain age people enters, we can directly recommend them. Okay, this is how we use this cut function in real time. Okay, next is our what? All or any function. Next is our all or any function. Okay, suppose I have what values, some x value. What is x value from 1 to 10? I'm asking, is any value greater than 8? Is any value greater than 8? So what is my result? Is true. Yes or no? Because I have 9 and 10. That is any. Now I'm asking whether any value is greater than 88. You should return me false, because there is no value greater than 88. It is for any. Any means what? It is 1 or 2 or 3, like or. All is like end. Here I'm asking, are my all values greater than 88?
False.
All my all values greater than, it returns here false. Okay, for all it is showing it is false. Now here
True.
I'm asking whether all my values are greater than 0. Yes, it is showing yes, all your values are greater than 0. Now tell me, all values greater than 5.
True.
Sir, some false and some trues.
Neither all true nor all false. So you what will get? It is what? So final result is what? False. All are not greater than this. Yes or no? If it is any, if it was what? I'll make it 8, so it will be good. So if it is any greater than 8 is what? True. But
False.
here all greater than 8 is what? False. Okay, so this is about what? Any and all. Clear, ma? Clear? Any doubts?